0213 local time, Gulf of Aden. A U.S.-flagged cargo ship drives north. Dark sea. No moon. Ladders show. A burst of gunfire snaps across the bridge wings. The ship holds speed. The crew braces. Above the black water, something else moves. Silent. Patient. The pirates think they hunt. They do not see the hunter. 0216 local time. Your brief begins. Tap like. Subscribe. Hit the bell. The sea lane is narrow. Ships pass within sight of shore. This is the Bab el-Mandeb choke point. It links the Red Sea to the Gulf of Aden. It feeds the Suez Canal. Oil, grain, electronics, and vehicles flow here every day. About 1/10 of world trade crosses this route in a normal year. The lane is busy. The water is shallow in places. Small boats can hide in clutter. It is the perfect place for an ambush. Our ship is U.S. flagged. Mid-size container carrier, civilian crew, mixed experience. The route began in Colombo. Next stop Jeddah, then north to Suez. Schedule is tight. Fuel is planned to the hour. The master knows the risk window. Twilight, night, early dawn. The ship runs best speed, but hull form and load limit the pace. 20 knots on a good sea, less in swell, less if the engines need care. Tonight they run at 19. The crew follows BMP 5. That means Best Management Practices, version 5. Simple rules that save lives. Keep watch. Harden the ship. Deny easy boarding. Use a citadel. A citadel is a safe room. Thick doors, independent air, radios, and water inside. The chief mate checks razor wire runs along the main deck. The bosun locks external doors. Fire pumps are set to supply water cannons. Floodlights are tested, then left off to save night vision. The bridge team drills the turn plan. Hard over, zigzag, add speed if attacked. 2 to 4 skiffs sprint out when a target appears. Each skiff may carry 4 to 6 men. They hold AK-type rifles, sometimes an RPG-7. They bring light ladders with hooks. They aim for the lowest freeboard. That is the shortest climb from sea to deck. The goal is fast boarding and fast control of the bridge. If they seize the ship, ransom follows. The law calls this piracy. It is a crime at sea. It is not the same as war. The U.S. Navy responds under international law. The goal is to protect life and property. The Navy uses an escalation of force ladder. First hail, then warn, then show force, then if needed, disable and stop. Lethal force is last. Every step must be clear and recorded. Radios log calls. Cameras record the scene. Evidence matters in court and in diplomacy. Over the horizon, a U.S. destroyer runs a security patrol, a Burke-class ship, fast, long endurance. It carries sensors and weapons for air, surface, and subsurface threats. But here the focus is small boats. The ship has MH-60 helicopters on deck. The air crew trains for maritime interdiction operations. They fly with a searchlight, a loudhailer, a thermal camera, and a door gun for defense. The destroyer also carries RHIBs. These are rigid-hulled, inflatable boats used for boarding. The boarding team is called VBSS, Visit, Board, Search, and Seizure. They train for compliant and non-compliant boards. Above it all, an ISR asset watches. ISR means intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. It could be a P-8A Poseidon patrol aircraft. It could be a coalition drone. It could be both. Their job is to build a picture. Who is fishing? Who is loitering? Who is shadowing merchants along the lane? They look for patterns of life. They track speed, course, and rendezvous points. They fuse radar tracks with AIS. AIS is the automatic identification system. It is like a car transponder for ships. Pirates often turn AIS off. That silence is a clue. The region runs on a shared maritime picture. Coalition navies link data. They use secure networks to pass tracks and chat. A call on VHF Channel 16 can reach many ships at once. A distress call also routes to a regional center. There, watch officers push alerts to warships in range. Time is everything. A skiff at 30 knots can cross 5 miles in 10 minutes. A helicopter can launch in 5 minutes if ready. A destroyer at 25 knots still needs time to close. Distance is life. Weather shapes the night. A moonless sky favors the attackers. Low cloud hides stars and horizon. The sea state is moderate. The white caps hide small wakes. Engines blend with wind. The cargo ship is loud. Its own noise masks the sound of outboards. The lookout must rely on shape and motion more than sound. On radar, a skiff is a speck. It fades in and out near rain clutter. The bridge team sets shorter range scales. They mark possible contacts. They call plot and report every minute. The crew sets a routine. Helm steady. Engines at ordered revolutions. The master keeps the ship near the center of the corridor, but not predictable. Small course changes keep options open. The second mate runs a communications checklist. SATCOM tested, SSAS armed. SSAS is the ship security alert system. It sends a silent distress message with position. The chief engineer keeps generators ready for surge load when pumps and lights kick on. Everyone knows their station. Everyone knows the Citadel route. Doctrine favors prevention. A pirate boarding is worst case. Once pirates are on deck, risk climbs fast. Crew may be injured. Shots can start fires. Control of the bridge can be lost. So the defense aims to break the attack before a hook bites steel. Speed helps. Wake helps. Water cannons help. Razor wire rips hands and slows the climb. Sudden turns roll the skiffs and cut their approach angle. If the ship buys even 2 extra minutes, help can arrive. This lane has seen many attacks over the years. Numbers rise and fall with patrol pressure, weather, and politics ashore. When pirates see strong naval presence, they wait. When they sense gaps, they strike. They prefer soft targets, low freeboard, slow speed, poor watch. Tonight, the U.S. ship is not soft. It is alert. It is hardened. It is also not alone. An unseen eye has watched the mothership shift position since sunset. A destroyer has turned to narrow the gap. A helicopter crew sits strapped and ready. The clock moves toward danger. The map shows the choke point dead ahead. The ship will enter the tightest water before dawn. That is both good and bad. Good, because coalition patrols often bunch near the bottleneck. Bad, because traffic density creates noise and cover. The master knows this math. He turns the bridge lights low. He checks his watch. He looks at the radar. He thinks about time and distance, and about what else might be above the ship, waiting to act when needed. 02:11 local time. The lookout calls the bridge. 2 small returns aft, bearing shifting to starboard, range 3 miles, speed high. The master moves to the conning position. He orders engines to maximum safe revolutions. 19 knots becomes just under 20. The helmsman holds course. The second mate logs the time and bearing. The chief mate walks the passageway and checks door dogs. All locked. The bosun starts the fire pumps. Pressure builds in the lines. The crew knows the drill. No one panics. Each step is calm and exact. 02:12. The returns fade, then appear again. Sea clutter makes a mask. The radar watch changes scale to 3 miles. Contacts bloom. The shapes ride the wake. Both skiffs hold a crossing pattern. One pins the starboard quarter, the other cuts to port. The master orders a gentle zigzag. 10 degrees right, 10 degrees left. Keep the wake dirty. In the engine room, the chief engineer watches temperatures and load. He trims for the surge from the pumps. He calls the bridge. All green. The master says, "Stand by." 02:13. Radio traffic begins. The second mate hails on channel 16. "Unidentified small craft. This is U.S. flagged merchant vessel. Do not approach. Keep clear." No reply. The master orders the SSAS. The ship security alert system sends the silent signal. Position, course, speed. Threat indicated. The message routes by satellite to the regional center and to the company security officer. The second mate issues a mayday. Short, clear, name, position, nature of distress. 2 small craft approaching with suspected intent to board. The log records every word. The clock stamps every line. 02:14. The skiffs close. They show long ladders along the gunnels. The men crouch. Engines roar. The master orders, "Citadel prep." Non-essential crew move along the internal route to the safe room. They carry water and radios. AO-215. The first bursts of small arms fire crack overhead. Rounds strike the bridge wing plating and fall away. The master does not flinch. He orders a hard turn to starboard. 20 degrees, then back. The wake rolls and throws chop at the skiff. The water cannon comes alive. A white sheet blasts across the rail. It strikes the nearest ladder. The ladder jerks and swings. The skiff staggers, then regains. The men in the bow brace. One raises a launcher tube, then lowers it. The angle is poor. The range is wrong. The ship keeps speed. AO-216. A new voice comes up on a secure circuit. A warship acknowledges the mayday. A U.S. Navy unit is in range. The destroyer reports it is turning to intercept. Estimated time to close is under 30 minutes at best speed. The voice is calm and clipped. The merchant is told to keep speed, keep evasive turns, keep the crew in the Citadel plan, report any hits or fires. The second mate repeats the orders. The master nods once. He keeps his eyes on the contact plot. He counts seconds between each bearing drift. AO-217. The ISR watch has already sent a cue. An aircraft has tracked a mothership loitering on the edge of the shipping lane since sunset. The pattern fits a pirate action group. 2 skiffs detached an hour ago. The aircraft kept a trail on them and now sees the merge. The cue goes to the destroyer. The destroyer launches an MH-60. Launch time from alert status is minutes. The crew straps in and lifts. The helicopter climbs to transit altitude and heads for the scene. Estimated time on station is short. The merchant just needs to buy time. AO-218. The skiffs split hard. One crosses the stern, the other drives at the starboard quarter. They are within a few hundred meters. The master orders a sudden turn to port. The ship leans. The wake throws. The bow of the starboard skiff slams into the chop and loses speed. The port skiff tries to rush the lee side. The chief mate aims the water cannon low. He sweeps the stream across the bow of the port skiff. The spray hits faces and engines. The skiff veers off. A ladder bangs against the hull and falls away. AO-219. Gunfire rips again. 2 rounds spider a bridge window. The master ducks by habit, then stands back up. He orders internal communications to check crew status. No injuries reported. The engineer notes a slight drop in voltage as pumps surge. He brings another generator online. Redundancy matters. The second mate sends a position update. Bearing to attackers. Range, course, speed, clear language. No slang, no panic. The destroyer acknowledges. The helicopter reports 10 miles out and closing. The Navy reminds the merchant to preserve evidence. Cameras record. Logs run. The timeline will matter. AO-220. The attackers shift tactics. They slow. They try to match speed. They probe for dead angles. The master orders another turn. The helmsman moves the wheel. The ship's big hull resists, then obeys. The skiffs fight the mixing water. The bosun reports that all hatches are secure. The Citadel has full count. No one is missing. The chief mate calls that one ladder is adrift. Another is still aboard the skiff. The crew remains under cover. They do not expose themselves to taunts or bait. The rule holds. Deny board. Survive to handoff. AO-221. A voice booms on a new circuit. A warning is issued in clear, simple words. The small craft are ordered to break contact and depart. The warning repeats in another language. The skiffs ignore it. The helicopter is now close enough to be heard. The attackers look up. The merchant cannot see the airframe, but the sound is there. The master notes the time. He orders the helm steady on a safe heading. He does not want to collide with other traffic. He reads the AIS list for nearest contacts. He keeps the lane clear. AO-222. A flare blooms in the sky. The light is harsh and white. The attackers hesitate. The helicopter issues another warning. It calls the skiffs by description. It states position and action. It warns that escalation will follow. The skiffs pull out briefly, then one tries again. The port skiff rushes the lee. The water cannon meets it. The wake rolls it. The ladder barely touches the rail. The hook fails to bite. The men shout. The ship holds speed. The master calls for 5 more minutes. He believes that 5 minutes will change the fight. 02.23. The destroyer reports it is now inside 20 miles at high speed. The helicopter announces it will take further steps per the escalation of force ladder. The merchant acknowledges. The second mate logs the phrases. The master watches the starboard skiff circle wide. It may be looking for a blind spot. The helmsman keeps the weave, not too sharp, not too slow, enough to spoil the angle. The engineer confirms all systems are steady. The bosun asks permission to shift a hose angle. Granted. The stream moves. The ladder on the port skiff slams the hull again and slips. 02.24. Warning shots crack over the water. They are aimed to deter, not to hit. The message is clear. Break off. The starboard skiff slows. The port skiff hangs for a breath, then swerves away. The men on both boats look up again and shield their faces. The master orders a steady course to regain speed. He knows the danger remains. A last rush is still possible. He keeps the crew in the Citadel plan. He reminds the team that the helicopter is now the shield. Their task is to avoid damage and hold out. 02.25. The attackers begin to separate from the ship. They stay outside ladder range. They test once more, then fall back. The helicopter shadows them. The destroyer closes the gap. A surface intercept is possible at dawn. The merchant ship reduces the zigzag and confirms no major damage. The bridge team breathes, but only a little. The master keeps the speed up. He orders another position report. He repeats the plan. Stay hard. Stay ready. Keep the evidence clean. The timeline is tight. The incident is not over. The next decisions will set the end game. Counter-piracy is a system, many parts, one goal. Keep pirates off the ship. Keep crews alive. Tonight that system worked because every layer did its job. Here is how the layers fit and why they matter. First layer is the merchant ship. The crew follows BMP-5. That stands for Best Management Practices, version 5. It is a short book used by captains in high-risk waters. The rules are simple. Look out. Harden the ship. Report early. Deny boarding. A hardened ship has razor wire on rails. Locked doors. Metal bars on ladders. Floodlights ready. Water cannons rigged to sweep the deck edge. Speed is part of hardening, too. A ship over 15 knots is hard to board from a skiff. A tight wake throws small boats off balance. Sharp turns spoil approach angles. A citadel is the last defense. It is a safe room with thick doors, radios, water, and lists of who is inside. If pirates do board, the crew falls back, locks in, and waits for help. No hero moves, no gunfights, just time buying. Second layer is detection and reporting. The bridge team runs radar on short ranges. They mark tiny returns and plot them. The lookout uses eyes and binoculars. He calls any change in bearing or speed. The bridge hails unknown boats on Channel 16. That is the International Distress and Calling Channel. If the threat is real, the captain triggers the SSAS. That is the Ship Security Alert System. It sends a silent distress message with the ship's name, position, course, and speed. It goes to a regional center and to the company. A clear mayday follows on voice. Times, bearings, and actions are logged. Evidence starts here. Third layer sits above the sea. ISR builds the wide picture. ISR means intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. A patrol aircraft, like a P-8A, carries a surface search radar, a thermal camera, and other sensors. It listens for AIS. AIS is the Automatic Identification System. Lawful ships keep AIS on. Pirates turn it off or spoof it. That change is a clue. The aircraft watches for patterns of life. Who loiters off the lane? Who meets and splits? Who shadows a merchant for miles? The crew tags a mothership and skiffs. They pass tracks by secure link. This cue gives the Navy a head start. Fourth layer is the surface combatant. An Arleigh Burke-class destroyer runs patrol. It is built for big wars, but it adapts to small boat threats. Its radar watches far. Its combat system fuses data. The crew in the Combat Information Center manages the picture. They plan the intercept. They coordinate with the aircraft and with other ships. They protect traffic separation schemes so no one collides in the dark. The destroyer also carries small-caliber guns for close threats. These mounts can fire warning shots if rules allow. More often, the destroyer uses its speed, its helicopter, and its boarding teams. Fifth layer is the helicopter. An MH-60R or MH-60S can sprint to the scene. It carries a thermal camera, a powerful searchlight, and a loudhailer. It can carry a door gun for defense. The crew uses the escalation of force ladder, or EOF. EOF is a step-by-step plan: hail first, warn next, show presence, shine light, drop flares, fire warning shots if approved. Then, if needed, disable a boat by aiming at the engine. Lethal force against people is last. Each step is recorded by sensors and radios. Why so careful? Because piracy is a crime scene. Evidence must hold up in court. Also, the sea is crowded. Clear signals prevent tragic mistakes. Sixth layer is VBSS. That means visit, board, search, and seizure. This is the boarding team. They ride fast RHIBs launched from the destroyer. They wear helmets, vests, and cameras. They carry non-lethal tools and rifles for defense. A compliant boarding means the suspect boat yields. The team checks IDs, fuel drums, ladders, grapnels, radios, and weapons. A non-compliant boarding means the boat resists. Then tactics change. The team may disable the engine first. They may use distraction devices. They secure hands. They clear spaces. Safety is first. Search is second. Evidence is third. Chain of custody forms start on scene. Photos are timed and tagged. Rules of engagement, or ROE, control all force. ROE are legal rules given to commanders. They say when and how force may be used. In counter-piracy, ROE stress protection and restraint. Do not sink a boat if you can stop it another way. Do not fire near a merchant crew if a turn or a water cannon can do the job. Use the smallest force that works. The intent is to keep mariners safe and to keep the legal case clean. Communications tie the layers together. Voice radio is one path. Data links are another. The aircraft, the destroyer, and the regional center share tracks. They pass text messages and target numbers. This reduces confusion. It also speeds decisions. A skiff at 30 knots covers a mile in 2 minutes. A helicopter launched a minute earlier can be on top before a ladder hits rail. Seconds matter, so networks matter. Why aim for engines instead of people? 2 reasons. It reduces harm, and it preserves intelligence. A stopped skiff can be searched, phones can be recovered, weapon serials can be logged, fuel sources can be traced. That map leads back to organizers on land. Stopping the network stops future raids. Sinking the skiff may end one attack, but also erases clues. Merchant actions during contact follow a tight script. Keep speed, keep the weave, keep crew out of sight and behind steel. Use water cannons to break ladder contact. Report each change. Do not chase. Do not stop unless ordered by a warship. If pirates get on deck, fall back to the citadel and lock down. If pirates reach the bridge, the risk grows fast. That is why the whole system aims to prevent that step. Finally, after action comes debrief. The merchant submits a report with times, positions, and photos. The Navy logs radio calls, video, and EOF steps. The regional center updates threat maps and warnings to other ships. Crews review what worked and what needs fixing. Fresh razor wire, better hose angles, faster SSAS triggers. This cycle of learning is how a busy sea lane stays open, layer by layer, night after night. Arrows 0226 local time. The skiffs ease off the wake. The laddermen sit low. The engines throttle back. The helicopter holds above and aft. The aircrew repeats the warning. Break contact. Depart the area. The master keeps speed at 19 knots. He keeps the weave modest. He wants distance. He does not want a collision in a crowded lane. The crew stays on plan. No one strays outside. No one plays hero. Uryo 2:28. The port skiff tries one last probe. It noses in toward the lee side. The water cannon meets it again. The spray hits the bow. The ladder slips. The helmsman puts in a small turn. The wake shoves the skiff sideways. The helicopter fires another warning burst well clear. The message lands. The skiff falls away. The men dump a ladder to lighten the boat. They turn down sea to rejoin their partner. Hero 2:31. The starboard skiff gives up the close chase. Both craft are now off the quarter at increasing range. The aircrew tracks them with the thermal camera. Bearings and ranges are called every minute. The destroyer closes to under 15 miles at high speed. It is still dark. The sea is steady. The helicopter shadows the skiffs toward a suspected mothership. The ISR crew confirms the rendezvous point based on earlier tracks. The pattern matches known pirate action group behavior. 0236. The master reports attempted boarding defeated. He lists the times of first sighting, warning calls, gunfire, and water cannon use. He notes 2 impacts on bridge glass and no injuries. Pumps hold pressure. Power is stable. The crew in the Citadel reports all present. The company security officer acknowledges. The regional center logs the update and pushes a caution to ships within 50 miles. The lane adjusts. Other masters increase speed and shift slightly inside the corridor. Hero 2:44. The destroyer is inside visual range of the mothership at dawn's edge. A dhow sits low in the water. Fuel drums on deck. Nets hung as cover. 2 skiffs rafted alongside. The helicopter circles high and calls instructions. The destroyer launches 2 RHIBs with the VBSS team. The dhow complies after firm warnings. Hands go up. The skiffs are secured and inspected. The team logs ladders, grapnel hooks, spare outboard props, radios, and ammunition. The camera timestamps each item. Chain of custody forms begin on the spot. No shots are fired, no friendly injuries. Or 2:58. The VBSS officer reports completion of the initial search. Contraband is seized. Fuel is measured and sampled. Phone devices are bagged. GPS tracks are preserved. The DAO's crew is separated and identified. Interviews begin with a simple script. Where did you depart? Who supplied the fuel? Who gave orders? The team uses interpreters by radio. The destroyer's legal officer tracks the evidence flow. The ISR crew downloads key video clips to support the case. The regional center coordinates with coastal authorities for follow-on action. Aero 305. The merchant ship reduces to ordered speed and resumes track. The master inspects the bridge. 2 spidered panes. No breach, no fire. He issues a short all hands. Calm voice. Clear words. Good work. No injuries. Procedures held. The crew rotates watches. The chief engineer secures 1 pump and brings systems back to normal load. The bosun inventories razor wire and hoses. The chief mate updates the ship security plan with small fixes learned tonight. Hose angle marks. Faster access to spare nozzles. Clearer labels on the Citadel route. Sunrise brings a clean horizon. The incident window lasted under an hour. From first radar contact to VBSS boarding, about 50 minutes passed. The U.S. ship never dropped below 19 knots. The skiffs never got a hook over the rail. The helicopter arrived inside 10 minutes of the Mayday. The destroyer intercepted the mothership within 40. Those numbers matter. Time saved lives. Speed denied the board. Procedure turned chaos into a process. By mid-morning, the regional center issues a formal note to mariners. It lists the coordinates of the attempt, the description of the skiffs, and the methods used. It reminds masters to follow BMP-5. It confirms coalition air and sea patrols remain active. The merchant company sends a thank you message to the crew and to the responding unit. Insurance brokers take note. Risk models adjust for the next week's sailings. The lane stays open. The lesson is simple and proven. Layered defense works. Early detection buys minutes. Minutes bring help. Non-lethal tools, used well, stop ladders. Clear ROE, followed step by step, keep crews safe and cases strong. The pirates left with less than they came with. The ship kept moving. Commerce kept flowing. The sea, noisy and dangerous at night, was quiet again by noon. The sea lane stayed open because people did their jobs. The crew kept watch. The ship stayed hard and fast. The Navy moved with care and speed. Each layer held. That is the point. Freedom of navigation is not a slogan. It is a daily task. It is fuel for ports, grain for markets, parts for factories. When pirates test the edges, the system must answer. Tonight it did. It did so with simple tools and clear rules. See early. Report early. Deny the board. Hold the line until help arrives. This works because it is repeatable. It works because it respects life and law. It protects crews and also builds cases. It sends a message that matters. Crime at sea will be met, tracked, and stopped. But the threat will adapt. Small boats are cheap. Ladders are cheap. Radios are cheap. A narrow strait is a force multiplier. Darkness helps the attacker. Traffic hides intent. That will not change. What changes is the speed and reach of the answer. Persistent eyes in the sky shrink the search. Better data links shrink the delay. A helicopter that launches 1 minute faster can decide a fight. A merchant crew that drills one more time can shave seconds from the SSAS call. Seconds stack. Stacked seconds become safety. The future adds new tools. Drones will hover for hours. AI will flag odd patterns and silent tracks. Smarter maps will predict likely ambush points and warn ships before the sprint begins. None of this replaces judgment. It supports it. Clear ROE still guide action. The EOF ladder still keeps force measured and lawful. VBSS teams still need calm hands and clean paperwork. BMP-5 still saves lives because it is simple and firm. The bigger picture is balance. Push too hard and you risk harm to bystanders. Push too little and you invite more raids. Tonight showed the middle path. Strong presence, firm words. Precise action when needed. Evidence kept for court. Pirates went